So after our daughter was born, we were done with kids. We were done having kids. We had our family, we had our boy and our girl, and we were gonna live our life just with that, with 4 of us. We were asked to take in a Rosebud student, and we had many opportunities to say no, but none of those reasons were held any weight. So we said yes, and so we opened up our door to a 15-year-old at the time. She's been with us for 2.5 years, and shortly, about 6 months after that, 4 or 5 months after that, we decided to start working towards adoption. Our son was praying for a brother, and so we decided that we were going to go down, or we knew the Sullivans, we knew their story a little bit, so we decided Ghana would be the place. Adoption was open at the time. We took a trip to Ghana in March of 13, and we met Emifa, who is the little girl who we adopted about 2 years after that. My wife met her on that trip, fell in love with her, knew that she was going to be up for adoption, and so we started pursuing that.
So when we were in Ghana in March of 13, we were there on a mission trip, and thinking about adoption, we had started the process. I went on a trip with Jake to meet Emifa's grandma at the time, to give her grandma the diagnosis that Emifa had HIV. And they were worried that the village would shun her because of that, and she wouldn't have anybody to care for her. So I was with Jake in this meeting. Emifa's sleeping on my lap, and grandma decides to give her up for adoption. So Jake and I left the meeting. He was fishing with Chris Gardner at the fish farm, and came to him and said, found the daughter we're adopting. And he was a little bit, I don't know.
I was taken. I thought we were adopting a boy, and now we're talking about a little girl with HIV, which I didn't know anything about at the time. But it sounded like a God thing. Little girl crawls into her lap and falls asleep while they were giving the diagnosis. So that was really ultimately why we decided to switch gears and adopt Emifa.
So we came home and did a ton of research and educated ourselves and realized that having a child with HIV is not that big of a deal as far as day-to-day living. So we proceeded forward with that, and then Ghana shut down on us. And that's when the boys walked in.
Ghana closed its international adoption shortly after we were matched with Emifa, and we were just kind of in a standstill. Had an opportunity to take in 3 boys from Des Moines that were in the foster system, and that was really through a connection through Kingdom Hoops, so Kingdom Cares, and decided to say yes to that as well while we were in a waiting pattern. And so our 3 boys came into our life, and shortly after that, Ghana opened back up, and about 1.5 years later, after lots of time, we were able to bring Emifa home.